while we're waiting. Oh, she wanted to make sure but to see if there's anyone in the comments that you should connect with, and please, by all means, make the connection.
Hello, 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 everybody. Okay, we're going to take our energy all the way to a 10. Say hi. Hi, Dr. Ted. Okay, say hi in the chat. Throw up some emojis. If you know, like things are about to shift. We didn't come here because we have nothing better to do. We're whole physicians and our time is valuable. So if you're here, that means you decided I'm going to show up like I paid 10 grand to be here. Dr. Una is going to show up like I paid her 10 grand and this is going to be amazing. Okay. So let me know in the chat. Okay. Are you here because you know that your business is about to experience a radical shift? Are you here because of that? If it's you, if that's true for you, say, yep, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, because that's why we're here. That's why Makita is here. Makita has a son she could be playing with, but she's here. I have 4 children I could be playing with, but I'm here. Okay. So I want to welcome you officially to the Revenue Boost Challenge, and we're so excited about this challenge. We did it for the first time, in November of last year. And after we did it, we decided that we're going to show up, every month, every other month, and we're going to do something that is going to help the physician community experience a big shift. Right? We're going to help them experience a big shift. That's what we decided we we're going to do, and so we're here, and we're here because we want you to experience a big shift in your business. I know that, there's all the narratives about what's going on with the economy, and there's the narrative of what's going on with physician businesses and all of that stuff. But we're here to rewrite that narrative. Okay. So you're in a room of disruptors. We are people who are defying the status quo. We're going to have a different experience. And so I want you to show up. Today's day 1. We're going to be here all week. We're going to do Q&A next week. So we're going to be here, but we're here because of you. There's not a single session that's going to be a waste of your time. There's not a single session that'll make you go like, why exactly am I here? So I just want to invite you to show up, because this is not just any other masterclass or any other webinar, or any other challenge. This is designed for you. Okay. All right. So today we're going to be looking at the 7-figure CEO framework. And it doesn't matter whether you're at 7 figures now or not. It doesn't matter if you're at multiple 7 figures or not. I am a student of business, and I have studied businesses from startup all the way to people, doing businesses valued at 500 million. And I will tell you that some of these things that we're going to look at is what they're all using. What are the successful people using? We have worked with doctors in a close setting, hundreds of doctors, Makita and I, over the years. And these are the things we've noticed have helped people win, And so we want you to adopt this first. Now, I am going to ask for your permission, okay? Because we're going to have some few rough times today. Okay, Dr. Una is going to go off script a little bit here and there, okay? But it's good. It's good. I'm going to have some honest truth, some brutal truth, but it's all good. But it will set us up, because this is the deal. If I asked you what you needed to do to take your business to the next level, chances are you know. Chances are you know. You're like, yeah, if I did this, if I did that. But there's a reason why those things are not happening. There's a reason why it's not happening at the volume it needs to happen. There's a reason it's not happening at the magnitude it's supposed to happen. And we're going to fix all of that today. Okay, you're going to walk away from here like, yes, I'm a great clinician, but I'm also a savvy CEO. That's the way we're going to walk away. And then we're going to go on to create some massive shifts in our businesses. Okay. All right. Let me know in the chat. Do you have your workbook? You have your workbook? Dr. Una has hers. You have your workbook? Yes. Hi, Dr. Helena, Dr. Emily, Dr. Leslie. Hi. Look at this. Okay, so Makita, if you want to post the link in the chat just so people can grab it, if you need to print it, you're gonna need this. We're gonna work through it some. Okay, we're gonna work through it some. Okay. So we're gonna get down to business. Like Makita said, I hope that you've set aside this time, you've put away distractions. If you can, please don't multitask. Okay, I want you to give yourself this time. Okay. All right. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to page 2. Okay, we're gonna go to page 2. And you're gonna see a bunch of lines, and they're lines for dates. Okay. And so I want you to put today's date at the top. Okay. So February 3rd, 2025. I want you to put that at the top. Okay. And then the workbook you'll print. Makita, you posted the link? Your post, okay. Yeah, just grab the link for the viewing room. That's fine. It's on there. So just grab that. The next thing I want you to write there, and you can do this in your journal till you get the workbook. The next date I want you to write there is May the 4th. May the 4th, 2025. May the 4th, 2025. When you're done, I want you to type done, and I'll tell you why I told you to do that. So once you're done, type done. Okay. Now, what is that date? Oh, come on, indulge me, people. Type done. There we go. Yeah, give me a few more. Okay. Now, what is that date? Hi, Dr. Anderson. That date is 90 days from today. It's 90 days from today. And what we're doing today is to set the stage that 90 days from today, you'll look back and say, my goodness, like, my goodness, I can see the tangible changes that have happened in my business. I have seen the tangible changes. So I want you to have that date. Every night when we come here, I want you to remember that date. Okay? I want you to remember that date. And I want you to keep that picture. We're not doing same old, same old. Things are not going to be the way they've always been. In 90 days, they're going to be different. Okay? So I want you to have that date, and we're going to leave it there. Okay? All right. Now, before I give you the framework, because I'm going to walk you through 3 things today, before we do that, there is something that I've noticed. There's a sequence that I've noticed that creates transformation. And that sequence is learning, making a decision, and then doing. We're physicians, we love to learn. And when it comes to taking care of patients, we love to do. But sometimes in business, not as much, okay? Not as much, because it's things we haven't done before. It's things that we're not great at yet, right? So this week, we're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna make a lot of decisions, and we're gonna take a lot of action, okay? So let me know in the chat if you're 3 for 3, because I don't want you to walk away from here knowing a lot. I want you to walk away from here having learned a lot, made a lot of decisions, and poised for a lot of action, because that's what will make May the 4th look so different. So we're going to learn, and then we're going to decide based on our learning, and then we're going to go do. We're going to do all 3. That's the magic formula. Okay, we can actually shut this down and say, okay, bye, but that's the magic formula. Okay, so we're going to do those 3 things. Every time you see yourself, try not to decide, remind yourself of who you are. I make decisions. Every time you see yourself, try not to act, remind yourself, I act. It may be messy, I may be scared, I may not have done it before, I may not have done it at this level, but I am going to do it. I'm going to learn, I'm going to decide, I'm going to act. Okay, I see a lot of people who've typed done, and I'm so happy for you, because things are about to get good and wild, okay, in the best possible way. Okay, so I thought a lot about today. Because, again, we're not here to give you fluff. We're not here to tickle your fancy. We're not here to make you excited. We're here to help you create real change, okay? And I'm like, what could I give the doctors who show up today? What could I give them that will set them up to get every obstacle out of the way, get the limitations out of the way, and get them acting? Because the principles we're going to share with you all week long, they work. It's ridiculous how much they work. They work, okay? So I came up with 3 things. And this is from what I know about business. This is from my experience as an entrepreneur for 15 years. This is from working with hundreds and hundreds of doctors through the EntreMD Business School and thousands through our workshops, okay? So I'm going to show you 3 things based on that. These are the things that I have seen that the most successful entrepreneurs, the most successful CEOs do. And this is what creates the change, okay? So if we have never met before, my name is Dr. Una. I'm a pediatrician by training, a lover and advocate of physicians everywhere. I'm the founder of EntreMD. And at EntreMD, what we do is we help doctors build profitable businesses so they have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on their terms. We have come to the conclusion that you work too hard, you gave up too much time and spent too much money not to have an ROI, not to have a return on your investment, right? And so we're all about doctors living the dream life and building dream businesses so you can get to do both concurrently. Okay, that's what we're about. That's what I'm about. I'm also a mom. I've been married for almost 19 years at this point. I have 4 babies. Well, my oldest is about to be 17, so I guess maybe I shouldn't call them babies, but I have 4 kids, and they're homeschooled, which is a story for a different day, but makes Dr. Una happy. Okay, so that's who I am. I'm super honored that we've been able to support doctors officially for the last 6 years. And to watch doctors, you'll meet a number of them over the course of these 7 days, but to watch them build the businesses and lives that they've built is just surreal. And it's one of the greatest honors of my life. So that's me. We've met now. Okay. All right. So let's look at these 3 things. Okay. We're going to look at 3 things. And these are I want you to remember these. I want you to take notes. I want you to see yourself through this light. I want you to give up ways of thinking that don't line up with this. Like I want this to be active. Okay. If you get a big aha, type it in the chat, like, oh my goodness, Dr. Una. Okay. I want all of you actively engaged in this. Okay. All right. So first thing is, and I already alluded to this, but we're going to go deeper in it, is my business. And this is the way you would write it, like your business. My business can be completely different in 90 days. This is not a general statement. This is not a statement for everybody. This is a statement for you. It doesn't matter where your business is. It doesn't matter if you're just starting. It doesn't matter if you're multiple 7 figures in revenue. My business can be different. I want you to think about the challenges you're facing in it. I want you to think about, the things you've been trying to fix that you haven't been able to fix for years. Hi, Dr. Jackson. So I want you to think about all those things and think about this truth. Your business can be completely different in 90 days. It doesn't mean every single thing will change about it, but it will be enough of a change that you'll be blown away. You'll be excited about your journey as an entrepreneur. It can be. It can be. You have to, what we have to do is accept that, agree with that, believe that, decide is inevitable. Like we have to have that. So I want you to take a moment. I want you to see that for yourself. Just play around. There's no right or wrong. There's no think you're a kid, it's a game and we have crayons. Okay. So I want you to think about your business being different. I want you to think about your business being different. Can you see it? If you can see it, type I see it in the chat. Just different. Maybe there's somebody you've been trying to hire. What if you hire that person? There's a revenue milestone you've been trying to hit. What if you hit it? You've been so bent out of shape, like trying to build a referral base because you don't want to talk to people. But what if after 9 days, you're confident and you built a referral base of 6 people and they're sending you people, right? What would that look like? What would that look like? So if you see it, just type, I see it. I see it doesn't have to be a perfect picture, but if we don't start working from here, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay. I have 15 people. Someone said it's coming. Yes. Who else? You can see it because it's so easy after you've worked on your business for a little bit and things didn't work the way you wanted them to work. It's so easy to default and kind of go like, well, I guess this is the way it will always be. No, it doesn't have to be that way. But the second you start thinking about it that way, it will be that way. I can see it. I can see it can be different. It can be different. Okay. Now, I want to give you some examples because that's what I'm going to do the entire time. I want you to understand it from a strategy standpoint, but I also want you to see that it's happened. So we had a doctor who came for the last revenue boost challenge that we did in November. I don't know if she's on here, Dr. Stacy. And at the end of the challenge, she left a review for us on, oh, she's here. Hi, Dr. Stacy. Okay. She left a review for us on Google and said, I made 30% of my annual revenue from this 5-day challenge, from this free, she put the word free, that free 5-day challenge. I want you to think about that. 30%. based on what she did over a 5-day period. So if that could happen, what could happen in 90 days? Right? I was chatting with on Facebook, I was chatting with a doctor who had talked about doing her homework from the last challenge. I said, so what happened? And she said, well, I got my team on the recaller, which is one of the strategies we talked about. And she said, our revenue went up 20% just from that one strategy. 20% from one strategy in a 5-day workshop, in a 5-day challenge. Okay. Now, I want to show you what happens when you do this over time. There's a doctor in the 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐥𝐥𝐿 Business School. We do our quarter, we review our, we do review what's happening in our businesses, our lives every quarter. And so in the third quarter of last year, she came on and she said, we are on track. We are on track to do $1 million over our revenue from last year. And I reduced my clinical time by 22%. I want you to think about this. We're going to do $1 million extra. And while we're at it, I reduced my clinical time by 22%. Now, there's some of those doctors in the 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐥𝐿 Business School here. So if it's a lie, they'll go like, who, Dr. Una fibbing? But it's not. That's exactly what she said. So I want you to think about it. So what we're trying to do here is possible. It's all possible. And I need you to type in the chat, it's possible. You're not stuck. You're not a victim of circumstances. The way it is not the way it always has to be. If you are the CEO of a 7-figure business, if you're a 7-figure CEO, it also means that you're a visionary. It means that you can see things that people can't see. It means that you can see a future that people haven't yet come to terms with. I'm going to show you the other things it also means, but this is what it means. So we are not stuck. We are not stuck. The way it is not the way it has to continue to be. It can be different. It can be different. I can have that dream life. I can have that dream business. I'll start from somewhere, but in 90 days, I could be much closer. There could be a version of that I'm living in 90 days. Yeah? Okay. I see so many people have accepted that. So many people have said it's possible. I love it. But this is the starting point. As long as we think we're stuck, we will sabotage. We will show up. We will do the thing. We will see the patients. We will see the clients. We will kind of sort of go out to market. We will show up on social media, but we already quit. We quiet quit. And you will never build a wildly successful, world-changing business that gives you time freedom and financial freedom in quiet quit mode. That's just not the way it works. That's just not the way it works, okay? So I want us to identify as who we are now. So what that means is, before we go to the next thing, I want you to type in the chat, I am the CEO of, and then you put the name of your company, okay? We're embracing this identity because we have been taught for too long, stay in your lane. That's not what doctors do. Just see the patients. Don't be so loud. Don't promote yourself. Don't do any of that. We do all of that. We are savvy CEOs. We are great clinicians and savvy CEOs. Okay. So put in the chat, I'm the CEO of. Okay. We had one of our retreats for the 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐥𝐿 Business School. I actually had them, their desk tags there with their names, CEO of this. Like, you want to start identifying that way because that's who you are. So we don't call our businesses side hustles. We don't call them, this little thing. We don't do that. Like, you're a CEO, you're a whole CEO. You're a whole CEO. I love it. I see PEDS in the house. PEDS unite. Yeah, beautiful. We have a dentist in the house. Love dentists. Dr. Valerie is a dentist in the 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐥𝐿 Business School. She's a rock star. Love it. Okay. All right. So now that we have this, and I'm so glad you guys are participating and doing all these things in the chat, because you're rewiring yourself. That's what you're doing, right? We're not just saying this, for you to just post things for the fun of it. Okay. So I am a savvy CEO. My business can be different in 90 days. Okay. It can be very different in 90 days. Now that we've come to terms with that, there is a but. And there are two buts. Okay. So we're going to talk about the two buts. So it can be completely different. But this is the deal. If we operate the way we've always operated, we're going to get the results we have always gotten. It is as simple as that. And I know it sounds very simple, but it's very profound, and I need us to lean into it. Are you willing to show up differently? Are you willing to do things differently? Or are you going to insist that this is the way I want to do things? See, savvy CEOs don't say that. Savvy CEOs look for what is required, and they do what is required. So we're not going to hold on to, but I can only do this. I only do that. I don't do this. I can't. We're not going to do any of that because we're savvy CEOs now. Okay, I mean, we're savvy CEOs. Okay, so everything can be different, but if we stay the same, if we continue to act the same, everything is going to be the same. And if life was not serious, it won't be as painful. But you hear me, I've told this story many times. There was a doctor who called me one day, and he said, I am so embarrassed. I'm like, why are you embarrassed? What happened? And he said, when I had the opportunity to join, this is so funny because this wasn't even, the Entrepreneur Business School didn't exist at the time. Akita, I remember it was the Freedom Formula Masterclass. It was a 12-week program that we had. And he said, my friends got into this program, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And now, 2 years later, I see their businesses, I see them thriving, I see all the things that are happening, and I'm so embarrassed to say, but I'm in the same spot. Can you imagine being in the same spot for 2 years? But every day you woke up, every day you went to work, every day you were busy, every day, and all that, like you were as busy as the person who was moving forward, but you're in the same spot. We're not going to do things the same. It's too expensive. And life is too short. No matter how long we live, it's too short for that. So we're going to do things differently, because this is the deal. You could be different every 90 days. Your business could be different every 90 days. That means 1 year you can have 4 big shifts that happen in your business. Can you imagine what that would do? We're not going to do things the same. If we do, there is no change. Well, we're going to experience change. Okay. Okay. So first one, my business can be completely different. Let's go to number 2. Number 2, my evolution is a requirement. My evolution is a requirement. Now, I'm gonna lean into this, but before we do, you can type this in the chat. My evolution. So I'm not talking about your business. I'm talking about you the physician, you the CEO. My evolution is a requirement. There's no thriving without it. There's barely any surviving without it. My evolution. So type that in the chat. I'm going to wait for a number of you to type it in the chat. My evolution is a requirement. So holding on to our past identity, we're not going to do that. Okay, so let me unpack this for you. Once upon a time, there was a company that was dominant in its space. It was the leader in its space. And that company was Blockbuster. This is not from a sci-fi movie. This is like real life, a real company that was going to be somebody's legacy that he was going to leave his kids. Then here comes another company that has a completely different model called Netflix. And Netflix says, hey, not Netflix, the founder of Netflix says, hey, why don't we do things this way? And they're like, nope, we're going to do it the way we've always done it. It's always worked. They laughed him out of their office. Now, Blockbuster, because it did not know that its evolution was a requirement, no longer exists. In fact, some of you, like if you're young enough, you're like, who's Blockbuster? You're probably Googling it. If you Googled it, let me know in the chat. If you were like, what is Blockbuster? What is she talking about? Yes, Dr. Dominic is like, I'm Googling it. Like, what is that? It was a movie rental place, right? Before Netflix. It was a movie rental place. But it was a boss. It dominated everything. But here comes Netflix. Boom, done. And it's gone. Why? They did not evolve. Once upon a time, Once upon a time, it was the taxi industry. When you go to travel, you get out of the airport, there's a whole long line of taxis, right? And there were whole families that had legacy of taxi companies that passed from one generation to another generation. So many of them are gone. Why? Because Uber came on board, and there was a disruption, and they didn't evolve. So that's gone. Like, real things are gone. I'm not going to be gone. I don't know about you. If you're not going to be gone, let me know in the chat. Like, I'm not going to be gone. But if you're not going to be gone, you have to evolve. Okay? Because I'm not going to be gone. Once upon a time, people used to go to college, to not like college, but they used to go to get training and certification as medical record specialists. Their job, they'd show up in the private practice or in the hospitals, and they're arranging all the files, and they're doing all of these things. And that was their job. They actually got training to do that. And this was their job. There were people who owned education firms to train said people. And here comes the EHR, and poof, like, it's gone. It's completely gone. Okay? Okay. Now, when things are gone, it's a challenging time, but it's also a time for incredible opportunity. Okay? Okay. Now, more recently, we have AI. Okay? And people are predicting, we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, but people are predicting 100 million jobs are going to be gone in the next 5 years. 100 million. That's a million 100 times. That is like a third of the US population. Right? Now, someone say, oh, but that's unfair, but it's coming. Like, I can't stop it. You can't stop it. It's coming. So what does that mean? It means that people have to adapt. Like, it's coming. So how do I use it so I can reposition myself so I can still be relevant then? But you can't stay the same. Like, you just can't stay the same. In the same way, there's a disruption in the healthcare space. It's not the way it used to be. I don't know, well, I've been out of residency for a while, I guess now, but when I was training, if somebody told me that I and Walmart will have a competition, I would not have believed it. Walmart, CVS, there weren't even urgent cares. Like, there may be like 2 aftercare clinics by me when I graduated from residency. And so it's been changing radically for the last 16 years. But a lot of physicians are like, I can't, when things will go back to there's no going back. There's no even staying the same. Everything is changing. Now, if we're going to be the people who are going to tap into the incredible opportunity that is ahead of us, we must change. The most dangerous thing you can do in 2025 is stay the same. The most dangerous thing you can do. And this is whether you're a startup, whether you're doing 3 million in business, wherever you find yourself, the most dangerous thing you can do in 2025 is stay the same, operate the same, have the same skill set, no, we can't afford to. So one of the things I do is I study people who are running really successful businesses, right? And one of the things that shocks me about them is the kind of growth mindset they have. I will tell you how I describe it. Whatever ceiling they have, like, oh my goodness, we hit 100 million in revenue. Whatever ceiling they have, they make that their floor and they start building over. Whatever ceiling, they don't say, oh, I built 100 million, nobody can tell me anything, and I just do things the way I want it. I never have to learn a thing again. They don't do that. If you see them, like some of them, you see some, I just was talking to someone, $100 million business, $100 million. And it's like, this AI thing, I'm going to spend a number of months like leaning all in and figuring out how to adapt my company. 100 million. So say the truth. If you were running a $100 million company, would you take a few months to become a master at AI? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Pretend it's a polygraph. Would you do it? And you're like, whatever, I'll just invest my money and chill. Like there are people who wouldn't even wouldn't even get EHRs because they're like, I'm going to retire in 5 years. Forget it. I'm not learning a new thing. Oh, you guys all say yes. I like you guys. So what is the idea here? I want you to think about your ceiling. You're a whole physician. Maybe you're here, you run a 7-figure business, multiple 7-figure business, whatever that is. I want you to make that the new floor because there's so much after that, right? I want you to make that the new floor. So you put yourself in a position where you're ready to evolve again. First evolution, became a medical student, then a resident, then an attending. Then you made another evolution, became an entrepreneur, then became the kind of entrepreneur who could run a 6-figure business, then 7, then multiple 7. And now you're becoming the kind of entrepreneur who can build a business you can exit from and is still creating multiple 7. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, so we don't arrive. I have talked to people who they're like, oh yeah, we don't need any of that. We don't need to do any of that stuff. We're running a business. We're doing 500 million in revenue. We're good. I'm like, what? And there's nothing wrong with, 500,000 is great. And it's not about the number. It's like you don't, like the second you stop growing, you start dying. That's just the way it is. And so I don't mean as a human, but I mean as a CEO, you start becoming less and less relevant, less and less effective. Okay. So this is what I want you to decide. And if you decide, I want you to type it in the chat. My ceiling is now my floor. Type that in the chat. My ceiling doesn't mean I've arrived. It means I've attained this. And oh my goodness, it's going to be the stepping stone for the next thing. My ceiling is now my floor. My ceiling is now my floor. That means you're open to learn. You're open to trying new things. You're open to failing at projects because that's what newbies do. Where you're on the floor trying to get to the ceiling, that's what you do. You try things, they don't work. You try it again. You recognize, oh, this is a new skill, so I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and it's okay. The second you settle is game over. My ceiling is now my floor. My ceiling is now my floor. Okay, let me know in the chat. How many of you are already like, oh my goodness, this has been so good. You just made a few decisions where you're like, oh my goodness, so good. So good for me. So good for me. Because we're changing stuff here. This is the real stuff. So when we start giving you these strategies, you will hit the ground running. It's going to be so amazing. I'm so happy for everyone here. Okay. All right. So number 1, my business can be completely different in 90 days. Number 2, my evolution is required. It's a requirement. Okay. All right. Number 3. Deep breath. The dream costs what it costs. The dream, and let me tell you what the dream is. Let me paint the picture of the dream. And you tell me if you want it, because if you don't want it, then I can just skip this step altogether. What is the dream? What is, like, if I was like Martin Luther King, like, I have a dream, like, what is my dream for physicians everywhere? This is my dream. My dream is that you're able to build a business that allows you to touch a lot of lives, that allows you to have financial freedom, that allows you to have time freedom. My dream is that you build this business in such a way that if you choose to exit from it, you can exit from it because it's not your job, it's a business. My dream is that you build it also in such a way that you would have positioned yourself as a thought leader. So if you wanted to build business number 2, number 3, number 4, if you wanted to be speaking on some of the biggest stages, any way you wanted to monetize what you wanted to do, you'd get to do it. That's my dream. Now, because you had the financial freedom and the time freedom, you have time for the things that matter to you. It could be hobbies, it could be time with your kids, it could be travel. You can decide, I want to work from all over the world, and you work from a computer, so that's what you do. And you have the financial freedom to support the causes that you want to support, to leave an inheritance for your kids, to make a difference in the lives of people. We went into medicine because we love people. I've spoken to a lot of doctors. We go in because we love people. And so you're in a financial place where you can help a lot of people. You can leave a whole legacy. That's the dream. So let me know in the chat if you're okay with that. Just say, I'm okay with that. This is my dream, okay? Hopefully my dream is such that your dream fits in it, okay? If you're okay with it, just say, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Now, that dream is within the realm of possibility for you. Now, it does mean that your evolution is required, but I want you to understand the dream costs what it costs. The dream costs what it costs. And if you want the dream, you also have to be willing to pay for the dream. Okay? I am not a red bottoms girl. Okay? But if I walked into the store and they said this particular pair of shoes, if I say I love it, this is the dream, I really love them, and they say it is $3,600, I have two choices. Choice number one, I pay $3,600 and I leave with the shoes. Choice number two, I decide it's not worth $3,600 and I leave the shoes at the store. Now, someone say, or you could negotiate. For the most part, they don't negotiate in those kind of stores. But anyway, but you can, but that's besides the point. So I have those two options. Now, if I decide, no, I don't want to pay, but I want to take the shoes, and I take the shoes out of the store. Please, what is that called? Let me know in the chat. Maybe I have it confused. What is that called? If I like the shoes, but I don't want to pay for the shoes and I walk away, theft, stealing, robbery, shoplifting. Right? The shoes cost what they cost. The dream costs what it costs. Because this is what I see a lot. And I hope after today, you will never do this again. It will never occur to you. And you help so many other people not do it again. So I started business. I started business and everything, but I hate marketing. It's a combo deal. They come together. Okay. That's like me wanting to be a doctor, but I don't want to take biology. It doesn't work that way. Okay. People are like, I'm an entrepreneur, but I hate selling. It doesn't work that way. It does. The dream costs what it costs. People say, oh, I can't deal with people. So I just do all this stuff in my business by myself. How are you going to get time freedom without a team? How are you going to do it? Now, some people say I'm going to build a one-man company, but again, my dream is that you build something you can exit from. So it kind of doesn't go together, right? You know, I'm shy. I don't talk to people. I'm here for you, man. I started off as a super shy, socially awkward, introverted introvert. You can learn this stuff, okay? It costs what it costs. So my question to you, I'm going to walk you through what the price is, but do you love the dream enough that you're willing to pay what it costs? This is a decision. So before you type, decide. Before you type, decide. Do you love that picture of you building a business that lets you help a lot of people, gives you time freedom, gives you financial freedom? Do you love that enough that you're like, okay, fine. I will learn what is required. I will do what is required. I will figure it out. Okay, I got a few people saying yes. The rest of you are like, I liked this up to this moment. I'm out. Peace, Dr. Una. Yeah? Okay, beautiful. All right. Because we must remember that business is a sport and sports have rules. Okay. If you say, I'm playing basketball, but I like kicking the ball, there are consequences. Okay. You can't just kick the ball. If you're a physician and you're like working in the emergency department and you have to run codes and you're like, I'm all about saving lives, but I don't want to do no chest compressions. I hope you understand this is a problem because those are the rules. It's the rule, right? Or you say, oh, you know, I'm a neonatologist, but I don't like seeing preemies cry. So even though this preemie has a high fever and a high white count, I am not going to do an LP. Like, no, that's just what you have to do. Okay. So we're going to do what we need to do. So there are a few things that must be done in business. There are a few things that must be done. There are a few core areas, if you will, and they're non-negotiables. Now, if you don't want the dream, that's different. If you want a business that somehow, somewhere you make some money, you can pay some bills, and like you're burnt out and all that stuff, you can do whatever you want to do. But if you want the dream, these 5 things, you must go like, I will master these 5 things because I love the dream that much. Okay? Okay. Are you guys ready? Let me know. Let me just make sure that you're not mad. You're like, ready? Let's do this, Dr. Una. Okay. All right. So 5 areas. The first is marketing. The first is marketing. And if you're like, oh man, Dr. Una, and I know you're also going to talk about social media and referral sources and talking to people and all this stuff. Remember, it's not about that. It's about the people that you're called to serve. Like this workshop, you guys, this challenge, we're only in the first 40 minutes of day 1. And you're already like, oh my goodness, this is so good. What if I didn't tell you about it? What if I didn't go live to talk about it? What if I didn't send emails about it? What if Makita didn't send you a message about it? What if we didn't do ads about it? What if we didn't do any of that? You won't be here. And your business completely being different in 90 days. Maybe you wouldn't even thought about the concept. It is almost an injustice, right? Almost unethical for you to have something really good and refuse to talk about it. Because the good thing is not for you. 𝐁𝐸MD is not for me. 𝐁𝐸MD is for the physician community. So why would somebody be out there wondering how to make their business work? And I know how to make their business work, and I'm quiet. It's not about you. It's about the people your business is called to serve. Now, one of the things people tell me is like, well, my business is working. I'm not doing any marketing. I just do word of mouth. That's like somebody saying, I drive around with no seatbelts and I haven't died. Right? Because what you have, if somebody built a business close to yours, will it still survive? If there's a pandemic, will it still survive? Right? If the competition got stiffer or the economic times changed, what it will do is expose all the weaknesses in these 5 areas. So we're going to master them. Okay? So I will tell you this, and we're going to talk a lot, like the details, marketing, all that. We're going to do that all these days. We're here for you. But marketing is no longer something that is optional. This is not a buffet. I am an entrepreneur comes with these 5 things. It's not a buffet. It's a sport. It's an economic sport, and it has rules. Okay? So I'm going to master marketing. Type that in the chat if that's you. I'm going to master it. There's no but, up. No, remember, you decided you're going to evolve, and you decided that you love the dream. And if it takes mastering marketing for you to have a company that touches a lot of people and creates time freedom and financial freedom, marketing mastery it is. And I am your evidence. I am always your evidence that you can pull it off. I was super shy. I would not talk to anybody, introverted introvert. So apparently these things can be learned. That's the first one. The second one is selling. I was like, oh, selling. Okay. And selling, I used to think, is what used car salespeople do, strong arming you to buy a car. So I was like, I don't do that. I'm a professional. I don't sell. But that's not what it is. Selling is leading somebody who has a problem that they want to solve to the solution. That's all that it is. For instance, there are a number of you here that will decide, like, man, the challenge totally changed my life and all that stuff. But, I'm at a stage in my business where I want a mentor, and I'm tired of being lonely as an entrepreneur. I hear that all the time. Like, I hear there's a whole community of 100 over 100 physician unicorns that are running businesses and talking about money and collaborating and stuff, competing. And I get the accountability that I need. I want to be there. What if I don't talk about the 𝐂𝐴𝐷𝐸 Business School and give you an invitation to join? Right? So selling is just telling, there are people in their homes right now crying about a solution that you offer. Some of them even follow you on social media, but you've never invited them to say, come work with me. So they haven't. All right, let me show you something really cool. How many of you right now have a problem and you're looking for someone who will solve it? And you're like, if I can just find them, I'll give them the money. I just haven't found them. Let me know in the chat. Like right now, you have a problem you will pay to make go away. You just don't know who to give your money to. I want you to see the number of yeses. Who else? You got a problem right now. You will pay for it to go away. You're like, who can I give this money? Right? So the same way you're saying yes, if I ask the people who are your ideal patients, ideal clients, they're saying yes too. They just don't know you exist. And if they know you exist, they don't know you do that. If they know you do that, they think you're too busy and you're not accepting new patients or new clients because you haven't asked them. They don't know. So please solve the problem of people by selling. Solve their problem. They're looking for you. They want to know if they can work with you. We had a doctor in the 𝐂𝐴𝐷𝐸 Business School, and she was talking about, you know, her financial goals and her business goals and stuff like that. We're like, go make offers, go make offers. And so she showed up on her podcast. I just recorded like a 30-second thing of, you know, like we're looking for, like opened up X number of spots for one-on-one coaching and stuff like that. And someone reached out to her like, oh, I didn't know you were accepting clients. I thought you were too busy. There are people who think they're doing you a favor by not working with you. They think like, oh, she's so busy, he's so busy, and all of that stuff. They think they're doing you a favor. But it's just because you didn't ask. They didn't know. They didn't know. I will master selling. Type that in the chat. I will master selling. I will master selling. I will master it. It's not a cuss word. It's not a bad word. It's not a sleazy thing. It's not a bad thing. People say selling is bad. Selling is not bad. Bad selling is bad, and good selling is good. Right? Like if someone came, you said, you know, like there's something you paid to make go away. If that person came and said, I do this, this is how you can work with me, sign up here. That person is doing you a favor. When you're selling, you're doing people a favor. You're doing people a favor. Okay? Okay. That's number 2. Number 3, I won't talk to a lot because we do that. Is service delivery. I almost never talk to physicians about service delivery because we're masters at that. We love people. We love to serve them. But do you see how we've talked about 3 areas? And most of the time we just sit in one area. No matter how good your service is, it won't make up for your lack of marketing. No matter how good your service is, it will not make up for your lack of selling. Marketing has what it does. Selling has what it does. Service delivery has what it does. Okay? So we're going to master all 5, but these are 3. So service delivery, I won't talk about because we know how to take care of patients. We know how to take care of our clients. We know how to do that. We're great at it. How many of you agree? We don't need a conversation about service delivery. Just say, Dr. Una, move on, move on, move on. We don't need to talk about that. We love people. We know how to take care of people. We know how to build systems to take care of people. This is what we do. This is how we roll. Okay? See, this is like, nope, move on, Dr. Una. All right, moving along. Okay? But that we're good at that. But 1/3, 33% is never a pass mark, not in any universe. No universe. Your kid came back and said, I got 33 on this test, Ma. You're like, right? Okay. All right. Number 4 is operations. Is operations. Behind the scenes, back office, all of those things that need to happen. Okay. That's something we have to decide. Streamlining our processes. And doesn't matter what business you're in. You're in private practice, you know, like one of the biggest headaches is the overhead and all of those things. But there's a lot of waste, a lot of inefficiency, a lot of that happens in the back office, and where a lot of that money gets thrown away. A lot of the money gets thrown, like hundreds of thousands of dollars get thrown away. Right? Okay. And then number 5 is finance. Do I have any cousins here? When I first started out as an entrepreneur, I was literally, well, not literally, figuratively, allergic to profit and loss statements. I don't want to look at it, don't want to talk about it. In fact, my husband, hi husband, My, my husband was like, you'll say, oh, the meeting with the accountant. I was like, yeah, I'm the doctor. I see patients. You can have the meeting with the accountant. And you just let me know what happened. Okay. So where are my cousins? Who are the people like me? Dr. Amy say, hi, cousin Una. Well, who are my cousins? Dr. Patrice says, PNLs hurt my heart. Right. But remember, you decided to evolve. You decided, like the dream costs what it costs, and you're going to pay what it costs. Right. But we can learn these things. We learn the Krebs cycle. We can learn these things. So it says, what is a P&L? Like, let's not even talk about that. We can learn these things. I want you to think about what you do. You replace hearts, you replace knees, you intubate premature babies, you literally bring people back from the dead. That's what coding is. We can learn profit and loss statements, at least enough to be dangerous. Okay? So marketing, selling, service delivery, operations, and finance. Finance and legal, but let's say finance, right? Because you're going to outsource legal. These are areas, if you choose to develop in them, you can have the dream. You can have the dream. Everyone we refuse to develop in, it costs us. If you're a basketball player and you're like, like the free throw, I can do that. The 2-point, I can do that. I will always miss the 3-point shot. They'll just keep you out in 3-point shot range. And all of a sudden, you're not very useful as a basketball player. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so if you're deciding, I love the dream enough that I'm willing to evolve, I'm willing to pay the price in these 5 areas, by mastering these 5 areas, I want you to type in the chat 5 for 5. 5 for 5, 5 for 5, 5 for 5. 5 for 5. I'm going to do it. I am committed to the dream business and the dream life. I'm not going to be a victim of circumstances. I'm not going to whine about not having autonomy and being burned out. I'm taking matters into my own hands, and I'm going to create the future that I want. I've done it. So many people are doing it. You can do it too. We have 4.5 years of evidence that this can be done. So we're not talking about some pipe dream. No. I have been retired from my practice for 5 years. For the last 3, I have not set my foot in the building. And it did 1.7 million last year. I wasn't there. Why? Because of what I'm telling you about. It works and it's available for physicians everywhere. I didn't start off with a business education. I didn't know what I was doing when I started my practice. I wish I had the entrepreneur business school when I started. I wish. It's available. It's available, but we must evolve. And we must choose to gain mastery. So just indulge me, okay? This might be the last thing I'll have you type. Just indulge me. Entrepreneurship is not a buffet. It's not a buffet. You don't get to pick. It's not choose your adventure. Say, I have the marketing and the service delivery, but the operation, the selling, I'm not going to do that. It's not a buffet. You don't get to pick. These are all required. Okay. How many of you feel like you're different? You've made enough decisions that you're different. You're different. You're now going to show up as this savvy CEO. You've given up this whole idea of I'm at my ceiling, and no, you've made that the new floor. And you know there's so much more. You know that, yes, times are going to change and the disruption is going to continue, but you're going to be ahead of it because you've made certain decisions. You've made certain decisions. You're not a victim. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're not a victim of the system. We're going to chart our own path. That's what we're going to do. Right? And you may not be able to change everything today, but the thing you can do today is you can change your direction today. That's what we're doing here. Because if we change our direction today, when we get to May 4th, our businesses will be different. We will be different. We just change the direction. And that we can do. It's a decision and then an action. Okay. So now I'm going to give you homework. And you may find the homework challenging, but the homework, when you do the homework, is evidence that you believe what you said. Okay? So you're going to pick whatever social media platform you want. And this is not about social media. This is about you. So this is not about social media mastery. This is not about this. Okay. Okay, thank you, Makita. She posted it here. So you can copy and paste. You're going to create a picture post and craft an introduction to your world. And you're not going to say, hey, let me introduce myself to you. Nobody cares. Okay. Nobody, to be honest, nobody cares. But let me tell you what it is. You're going to have 5 elements. You're going to have 5 elements in the post. Okay. You're going to talk about the pain your patient or client has. You're going to talk about what life could look like. You're going to talk about the solution, not the process, not the process. So this is what I do. I've done it for 5 years or whatever that is, but not. So I'm going to, I'm going to put you on the treadmill, put you on the elliptical. And nobody wants to go on the elliptical. We just want to be skinny. We don't want the elliptical. Okay. We don't want the entire process. And then you're going to put in a testimonial from somebody you've worked with before. And then you're going to tell them how they can find you, how they can work with you. That's your call to action. And then you're going to put the hashtag, because I'm sure Makita has thought about how to spend my money. And so she'll go, look at her. She's like, yeah. So she'll go and look through them. And we're going to shout you out. I'm going to go personally. I'm going to respond to your stuff. So you're going to use that hashtag RBC. So Revenue Boost Challenge, RBC25. And that's the post. Don't overthink it. Don't ask 200 questions. Give it your best shot. But this is the deal. I'll give you an example. Okay. You've been running your private practice for the last 5 years. It looks beautiful on the outside because everybody knows that it's a 7-figure practice. But truth of the matter is that you haven't been able to pay yourself in 6 months, and your team is driving you nuts, and you're charting when you're at home instead of spending time with your kids. You're miserable. You almost want to shut it down and go get a job. But the truth of the matter is that you can have a life where you have a team that's enrolled in your vision, that supports you. You can have a practice that is not only bringing in revenue, but is profitable. And it gives you the freedom, it gives you the time freedom you need so you can spend time with your kids. You can spend time on your health. You could spend time doing all of that, right? And this is what I help people do through the EntreMD Business School. Just like Dr. XYZ, who now has whatever that result is. So if you're ready to give up the burnout, to give up giving the time with your family, if you're ready to not only talk about revenue, but to have actual profit, because that's what goes home with you, then book a call with my team. We'd love to help you. entremd.com/call. Do you guys see? If you got it, say I got it. If you got it, say I got it. So it's not, you see that those 5 elements are there. Okay. So it doesn't need to be super, super long, but you're hitting the things that matter. Why am I having you do this? Because the temptation will be to hide. You can't make the decisions you made today and hide. You make the decisions you made today, you come out and you're like, okay, this is who I am. You start getting comfortable being uncomfortable. You no longer hide from discomfort. Why? Marketing is required. Selling is required. All these things are required. And you're like, I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not saying but anymore. Yeah. Makita, take care of Lewis. She said she had a problem booking a call today or something. She'll take care of you. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Well, we're not hiding. So this is not about social media. This is about you acting on the decisions. Remember what we said we're going to do? We're going to learn, we're going to decide, and we're going to act. So we learned, we did a lot of that, right? And then we did a lot of that. We decided, you guys did a lot of that in the comments, and now we're going to go act. So use the hashtag. I will come and I will look at your stuff. I will shout you out. I will support all of those things. Okay. And then we're going to make this work. We're going to make this work. Okay. Okay. On a scale of 10 for 10, is on a scale of 10. How good was this? How good was day 1? How good was day 1? I told you guys I'd show up like you pay me 10 grand. I told you guys I'd show up that way. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you to go do your homework. Makita, you just want to put the email, maybe just put Dr. Una on EntreMD if people are having a hard time booking a call. Yeah, okay, so you can put that in, then we can get those calls booked. So Dr. Una, DRUNA at entremd.com, and then hi, Dr. Heidi, nice to see you. The hashtag is RBC, so Revenue Boost Challenge, RBC25. RBC 25. So that way we can track your stuff. Okay. All right. So I am rooting for every single one of you. Okay. Day 2. Now, tomorrow, now that we're the Savvy CEOs, we're going to look at 5 activities you can do every day. And you can do this in a space of an hour that will directly affect your bottom line, which will put you in a position where you know how to create revenue in your business. Okay. So day 2 is just going to be like nuts. All right. So I'm going to let you go do your homework. I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. If there are doctors in this world that you love, give them the link, entremd.com/challenge. Tell them, come join me. Come join me. Catch the replay and come join me. Okay. Now, Makita, if you want to post the post for the post, and we'll post that in the Facebook group as well. And then the replay for this will be in your emails in about an hour. Okay. All right. Rooting for everybody. I'm going to head out and I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'll be looking out for your post. Don't be, you will be tempted not to act. Don't fall for it. The more you act, the easier it gets to act. The more you do the uncomfortable thing, the more you get comfortable being uncomfortable. It can be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be LinkedIn. I think those are the 3. It could be any of those. It could be all of those. You guys started it, right? Okay. So I'm rooting for every single one of you. Please act. Please act. It doesn't matter till you act. The transformation doesn't happen till you act. The point of conversion is a point of action. Act. Okay. All right. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow at 6 p.m.